Let's get cracking.
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. I'm TobiWan.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we have returned for game number 2. Fnatic going up against RoXKIS. RoXKIS, man, I really thought at the start of that game, they were looking good.
Yeah.
They looked like they had the game. They looked at the bag. And then the bag was then opened. And there was shit inside.
And then there was Honey just...
Yeah, Honey came out.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Bugs everywhere with little Dagon things waving around. Just like, like, all of a sudden, death.
Yeah, I didn't really think Fnatic had it in them. I also didn't think that RoXKIS were gonna get repeatedly picked off like that. But hey, that's how Dota works, man. You think you have an advantage, but all it takes is just a couple of misplays.
You think you had something good.
You
thought you had something good, and then it's torn away from you. And well, RoXKIS we'll start up again and see how this draft will unfold before our very eyes as he starts banning out the Ancient Apparition. Now, first pick belongs with Godblack here. I'm feeling a bait for the Invoker again. He still had a really good Invoker. The problem was the transition of all the other lanes going and working together wasn't quite there after a little bit of feeding. And they don't ban a bottom lane. That was another thing too. Like, Prophet never did anything up against that Centaur really at the end of the day. It was like, what was the point of him at the end of the day? Was to stall up with Split Push. It worked, but he even takes out the Disruptor. Yeah, they're trying to get the Invoker through. They're trying to get the Invoker through as first pickup, but then they give the Wisp combination to Fnatic. Fnatic have 2 pickups when they return here. They can just go straight Wisp Tiny and just not care about anything. But at the same time, they prioritize Veno over everything before. So we'll see what Fly has priorities for.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of different Wisp combinations. Fnatic primarily run the Wisp Tiny, but maybe they branch out. They can pick up Venomancer Wisp, pick up 2 supports in the beginning, and then let the second set of bans go through, and you'll see banned out Tiny and ban out other things. But there's still other heroes to run with Wisp that are certainly viable. But I love the switch up of supports, man. Banning out AA and now Disruptor as well.
Radiant team pick.
2 months ago, that would have been like crazy talk, but
yeah, it's like, why aren't you banning Enchantress and Chen? What's with you? You can't let that through, but we get coming up here for RoXKIS. So, okay, what's your guarantee? What's your bet right now that they go with Slaughter just to block pick them and destroy them completely? I don't know about the combination itself, but
I mean, the combination itself isn't terrible. Because Slaughter benefits just like Tiny with every single situation. Being able to have that relocation, hit the stun, faster attack speed is better for your bashes, etc., etc., etc. But
Fnatic's turn to
I don't think you want to run Tiny up against the Slaughter, though. Tiny has no armor whatsoever.
Exactly. Like, the only other way you do it is by like trying to run a Ricky Maru, but then even then that doesn't work because Slaughter amplify damage. If it goes off, you're in trouble again too. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah! Yeah!
Well played, Toby. Well played.
See, you cast a shit Dota, and all of a sudden, you know the game. Actually, I just know trends and the way they work. It's just, I don't know mechanics. Don't ask me mechanics. Mechanics is horrible. I don't like mechanics.
Yeah, and normally I don't give...
Mechanics as people are okay. I actually knew a couple of mechanics back in Australia. They're actually really cool guys. But
anyway,
in this game, really crap. Dazzle and Treant.
Reel you in, Toby. Reel you in. You just gotta float out to sea sometimes.
Yeah.
Just kind of like,
but
you just got that guy in that raft just kind of rambling. You're just like, where's Toby? Oh, he's out there.
It's like fishing for good trout, man. You gotta give it some slack and reel it in. Give it some slack and then reel it in.
Well, that's what I'm here. I'm here to reel you in. Counter picking, I'm not entirely like normally counter picking. I don't really like it. I feel you can just focus on your own draft most of the time.
But this isn't even a counter pick because it works together. It's the combination they like.
Yeah, the Wisp and Slaughter still has synergy together, and so it's fine.
Yeah. Now, Goblet can try and turn this one around a little bit more and say, okay, we have Dazzle, we have Tree. We can run a riskier offlane if we want to, and we can find these heroes which, like, the whole point about Dazzle being there with the slider is you can give slider the license to dive. You just completely overcommit. And with a Tree as well as a Dazzle, you kind of got that as well. But you've also got the ability with Tree to gank because of the leech seed. So you can slow these heroes down. You hold them back and then you just pound on top of them. So what they need most importantly out of their next 3 heroes is control. Poison is one thing, leech seed is another. But they need stuns, they need lockdowns, and they need burst damage to come with all of that. Now, if you can give me a hero that does all of that, RoXKIS go and pick it up. I'm thinking Lion off the top of my head, but I don't know if Solo really wants to go that solo mid. Venom now comes in for Fnatic. This also doesn't reveal anything about our lanes. Because Fnatic, normally when they do this kind of stuff, they can run Wisp and Slider in the middle lane. They can run Trixie's off lane, Venom, or support to be played up by Fly, like was in the last game.
Right.
So yeah, they're very, very open for their pickups right now. I think RoXKIS is going to predict any lanes.
I actually like the Darkseer has not been a hero that has been in the meta at all of late. You see him very, very rarely, but I think that was actually a pretty smart ban. They're banning out the strong offlaners, right? Taking away the Timber Saw, just a really strong laner in general, but also the Darkseer off of that vacuum into a Slardar stun is actually really, really powerful. So I think that was smart. If they could take away the offlaners that have really good shot at being able to pick up a decent amount of golden experience, because that's the other thing. When you run a Wisp, if you have a really, really strong offlane, you just decimate the mid game. Because you actually have a good offlaner to be able to set up a lot of your team fights and then have the relocate follow that up. So when it comes to ganking, when it comes to forcing team fights, a good offlaner is actually really essential for picking up a wish strat. So RoXKIS banning that out. I'm good with that. Meanwhile, Fnatic take away the Luna, right, standard. And Clinks as well. Clinks is an interesting ban out, but his good amount of movement speed and his Orchid pickup could be kind of devastating. He's a very good Wisp hunter.
Well, we'll see if Fly is going to share your insights right now. Reminder too, guys, we have 2 more codes to come out from Dota 2. Why am I pointing to a camera with 2 fingers?
I don't know. You were talking to the camera earlier.
I know. I do that every now and then. It's just really funky. But we got 2 more codes to give away for Dota 2 Lounge. So big shout out to those guys, and make sure you do bet your res. They are supporting the Dota 2 Champions League. So get yourself over to Dota 2 Lounge /giveaways. That's with a .com before that, and claim one of the codes. The last codes will be given out at the end of this game. Even if there's a 3rd game, we'll give them out at the end of this game. So I'm going to put mine over on TobiWan Dota, which is my Twitter, and Cap is your Facebook now, I think, which is all
up. Facebook.com/DotaCapitalist.
There you go. So if you're following those places, at the end of this matchup, you will get one of your rare codes pumped out there and see how quick you are on the fingers. And, of course, you can always go in and support this competition as well. If you're looking to, let's say, get something for free, it's more you give the players. You support the players out there. By buying one of the D2CL tickets from inside the Steam store, you actually commit? That's not the word I want to say. You contribute. It starts with a C, just ends with something very different. $2.50 USD for every single ticket which you purchase will go into the prize pool, and we keep updating this one. And of course, as you were listening to AC's voice before, we have the set goals which we're trying to hit. So we want more fun competitions which can also be done. And if we hit the big one, we decide where the LAN event is for next season. So yeah, awesome stuff to come our way. And it looks like we're almost finished the draft with Night Stalker now coming up here for RoXKIS. So one of Solo's classic style heroes, and Fnatic, they're running the Doombringer, so it looks like we're going, well, we could still be doing anything with this. It will be Era on Slider, but knowing Night Stalker's in the mid, there's no reason why you can't run Slider in the mid lane either.
I really like the Night Stalker pick because Doom was picked up specifically to counter out the Weaver, to try and control him, take him out of team fights. He's relatively squishy. However, he's having to deal with Tree and Protector, who's going to be able to throw down that living armor. It's actually a really good counter to Doom. It soaks up a lot of that damage, a lot. And, whoa, we're still going to see a Tiny, all right.
Wait, what?
All right, so...
hang on. So offlane Doom, mid lane Slider to bounce up against Night Stalker, and then you still run Wisp, because whenever Fnatic run Wisp Tiny, it's on the safe lane, every time.
Right.
The only other option is they go aggressive tri-lane with a Venomancer. That's the only other option.
Yeah, I think you're still on the dot there. Venomancer, Slardar in the mid, Venomancer with the Doom, just like they did last time. It seemed to work out pretty well for their offlane. And you don't have really aggressive supports. That's a lot of slow coming out from Dazzle and Tree and Protector, but not a whole lot of nukes. So the heal over time from Scorched Earth will be able to help Doom out a lot against that lane. The biggest thing is going to be early aggression for RoXKIS. Now that they see this is a 3-core lineup, pick up some really aggressive heroes. So Nightstalker was supposed to give Weaver a lot of room. Now you pick up the Viper as well to just try and control your lanes, win the laning phase, get Weavers get some really early control of the map. That way they can't hunt down the Weaver. Weaver picks up a fast Lincoln, starts turning that into a Desolator, and they control the game well enough to turn into towers. The big problem is they don't have initiation and they don't have pushing power. So much of RoXKIS is going to be on winning lanes. If they don't win their lanes, I don't see much of a hope for them against a tiny Doom Slardar. Like, that's enough mid-game that you can actually fight RoXKIS easily, and then you turn that into a late-game Tiny, a late-game Slardar and Doom. That's very, very scary to go up against. Yeah.
I'm with you on that one, man. I just want to see how they roll this out. So what do we got? We're talking about Veno and together, and we're actually going to run off-lane Slardar.
Okay.
It's going to be a dual-lane mid with Veno as well as Tiny, and then No Tail and Trixie up on the top lane. Now, this is going to change around because Fly is also moving up north, and No Tail's coming out here with 1 Observer Ward. So, I think he wants to put a defensive Observer Ward up here on the top lane, and then join Era in middle lane. Okay, in fact, they're screwing up. They're going exactly what we thought they're going to from the very, very start. It's flying with Doom off lane, it's Wisp and Era in the middle lane, and then the safe lane Trixie, Doombringer, which puts BZZ down here in the bottom lane, being supported by Godblack, but Godblack supports everybody. Seedoy will be the Weaver in the off lane, with Yol babysitting him the entire time, and that puts Solo as the bottle-rushing Night Stalker in the mid lane.
Yeah, I suppose Slardar is enough early game with the Venomancer that if you get a good Gale, you're actually kind of threatening. So RoXKIS are going to have to, they can't just get overly aggressive with their tri-lane and beat him down. However, they're also going to be putting up, the question is, where is this Viper going to be at? Well, he's going to be bottom, and that's going to be bad news for Hani. That's really bad news for Hani.
Yeah. This basically means that Hani can't come in close, and do they change their lanes up? Like, Viper and Venomancer can go head-to-head against each other. And maybe Fly can harass him out, but it kind of relies him to get Poison Sting at level 1 and not go into the Gale, just to try and keep Viper down. Force him to burn through those consumables before Viper is really ready to fight anywhere else. While in middle lane, this dual lane where Yol's kind of ended up, it's going to be an interesting battle up as well. Solo's done a great job. He's just pulled this creep wave up the hill by attacking directly towards No Tail and Eerie, grabbing the aggro, pulling it up. A little bit too close towards his tower, though, which is going to kick back now. But No Tail's purposefully taking the damage so then he can heal up Era.
Yeah, Dazzle, there are very, very few supports who can actually do a really good job harassing in middle. Silencer is one of them because of his orb effect, but Dazzle's another good one because his animation is just so good. So he's going to be trying to harass No Tail a lot. The problem with this lane is No Tail just tethers up and tangos, and he's also going to be going for a fast bottle.
Yeah, he's going to have that in 25. It's going to be easy with an avalanche on the Solo. They're trying to get the tower aggro to take on him, but it's not catching on. Yeah, this is just this has been a very interesting start to the lane, but it's gonna really start to tip the balance out. Like, Solo gets his bottle, but Yol can't keep this kind of pressure up all the time. Where No Tail and Era, they can. That's the power of running this middle lane. Normally when they do this, they do it with a Ricky Maru or some kind of other core style hero. Whoop, a little bit deeper inside the lane, inside the river. The ball's hit onto Yol, and they get first blood here. Solo also not going to have an easy time out here. He's got Void available, but No Tail's the one to draw first blood. The bottle's coming out, and I kind of think he's wishing he had boots with that too. But the boots will belong to the Tiny instead.
For you.
Yep, the power of a bottle in this middle lane. A fast bottle
avalanche. There's going to be a toss-up as well. Yep. Throwing back into the Spirits. And the TP in. They instantly go onto Yol. It's just one to the next to the next. He'll heal up, but it's going to do nothing. And if this bottle, like, No-Tail's going to fill it up in the bottom.
Yep.
That's why he's tethering down. He's coming to pick up the invis, and Fly is not letting it go. But that'll be tethered up straight back into Era, and they've already got 3 kills on this mid lane. You want a bad start for a Night Stalker? How about having a death? How about having 2 on Yol?
Yeah, this is a really, really bad start for them. Looking at the other lanes, though, they were doing really well in CS. Right now, Weaver's 9-4 up against the Doom, who's 11-2. Not bad. And the Viper's obviously getting complete free farm.
But he hasn't stopped Hani from getting these levels. Like, Hani still managed to find level 3.
Yeah. He keeps interrupting the pull, and his supports aren't strong enough to stop him by themselves. Like, they're not big enough a threat. A Tree and Protector and a Dazzle by themselves with Venom.
Avalanche, middle lane. Going to toss him back. Still on cooldown. Looks like it was already used. And the Spirits, they've also all connected onto Solo. While up on top lane, yeah, Trixie, he's being really whittled away. Kind of needs a regeneration aura up here and not just that Ring of Health. But Hani, he's about to sprint in middle lane. They're going to go again. Avalanche, it actually is on Yol. So they just bypass Solo. In fact, it's still going to be a double crush coming out from Hani. But he'll have to back up now. And full treads have arrived for Era. We're 3 minutes in. Like, this is... And this is the way Fnatic love to play this. And if they want to, they may just because of their great start. They like to actually skip the Asha on the Tiny. And just rely on No-Tail, giving him the movement speed instead. So you run in there with a full Aghanim Scepter after getting just treads a Magic Wand if you have a good start. It's a little bit greedier, but it works. And Solo gets lucky. 4-minute rune, DD for him on the top lane.
Oh,
and he's already moving up.
Top.
That's because Trixie. Oh, Trixie, you're overcommitting. He's going to get back to the tower right now. But he may just dive in this. Like, it is nighttime.
Level 4, though.
But Trixie, Thunderclap, he lets it off. He's into the tree line at least, and now in comes Hani. There's already 1 crush on Cedo. Trixie trying to juke it around the tree line, but Weaver, Chikuchi will connect. He's kind of hoping that Dire Creep would kind of like block the path in for him, but Solo wants to go deeper. He's chasing down Hani. He'll have to use both Void as well as... Actually, no, wait, there's no Crippling Fear. Because, kind of forget, we're only 4 minutes in, he's only level 4. It's no silence available for him.
Yeah, if they had more teleports, I think they could have turned that in exchange for Doom's death, but who are you going to teleport? You don't want to move No-Tail or Era out of their lane right now. They're about to get their very, very crucial levels. Level 6 is going to be up pretty soon on No-Tail, and Era is about to get more levels into his combo, which makes him even scarier. So,
should point out too, we haven't seen any kind of involvement from Goldblack. Like, this is a guy with 2 points up in living armor. Like, it's been going out, but there hasn't been anything more than that. There's been no lead seek attempt ganks on this bottom lane that, well, at least I've been looking at. And Yol's too busy up here on the top lane. It's just like Goldblack is pulling, farming, and being the unsung farmer. I'll say hero, but
yeah,
he needs to save someone before he's a hero.
Yeah, in fact, the pulling is kind of backed out on them. That's why the Slardar was able to pick up so many levels. It's because him and Venomancer just went into the jungle, and every single time they tried to pull, they would counteract it, pick up half the experience from mini neutrals that die, and grab all the experience for every single last hit on the creeps.
Oh, Fly might be in trouble. There's an ultimate out from BZZ, and he's dead. This is the downside about running a Venomancer versus a Viper. One is a lot more venomous. And did they just deny up the rune? Yeah, he did. He left...
Middle tower
unless No-Tail grabs something from top, which I don't think he did, but there's a Plague Ward just sitting on bottom lane, which I think denied the rune.
Yeah, he denied it.
Slider says hello to Cedoy. Can't see him. Still says hello. I like how Hani, like, even though this bottom lane, Fly ended up going down, it's because he was just slightly over-aggressive. But this is exactly what they do with Trixie a lot. Keep him on the tower, keep the Plague Wards up. Now, you don't lose map control, and the only other primary thing you have to look for is farm on the other 2 cores. So, Trixie farming up as the Doombringer on the top. He's about to hit level 7 too, which means 4th point Devour, even more money coming in, and Era's still farming up in the mid. So as far as Fnatic would see this, they're getting stacks, they're holding their towers, and they're getting farms of the core key-changing heroes. Even if they're giving a lot of money to Viper, they have a lot of confidence in the back of a Wisp tiny relocate jump.
Yeah, Mech is going to be up soon for Viper, so they should turn that into the second nighttime is going to be the big play for RoXKIS to really start controlling this game. If they don't turn this second nighttime into a lot of kills, with Viper and Nightstalker being very, very aggressive, they're going to have a really rough time. Because right now, Seedoy, he's picking up a decent amount of CS.
No tail.
But not
Can he solo this? Can he solo this with Spirits? Starts going on Goldblack. Balls, balls, balls. Tree Protected just got soloed up by a Wisp. Welcome to Relocate.
Wow.
that was just really bad timing. That's really, really bad timing for Goldblack.
And now Nightstalker, like, what happens? If he wants to go and gank one of the side lanes, he's going to be counteracted by the Relocate in.
And they're jumping in mid. Not fast enough. Ira needs more movement speed. She's gone into drums. They didn't go into the Aghanim Scepter straight away. And now he had daytime.
Oh, nice. Regen. Perfect.
Oh, down on bottom lane. I thought it was for Nightstalk. Like, yeah, for Nightstalk, for solo, would be great. But a regeneration for no-tail, that's not perfect for a RoXKIS fan. And Ira's already looking. He's already looking to go on a hunt. Because they've basically got a ticket to kill. When you have a regeneration like that, you don't care how much damage you're going to take. No-tail's just going to dive himself in so deep to go with Ira, take the aggro away from the tower straight away, and buy them the space. But then with Yol coming in, regeneration, they can't use it. They have to get themselves far enough away, and he tried it.
The midi stuns.
And now the ulti will fly out. Avalanche is still on cooldown for 2 more seconds, but he'll get to the high ground in time. Got to turn. Got to Avalanche. Sliders coming in. Do the crush from the high ground. Avalanche in. 3 men on the crush. And now no-tail. He bought back and then triggers up the regeneration. Unfortunately, he's not healing up Ira because he's taken little to no damage. So it doesn't really work for him right there.
Well, good save by the Slardar, with both him and No-tail doing a good job keeping Ira alive, who's so important. His farm is the most important thing for right now for Fnatic. So they get a small little turnaround there. Just the mini stun from Poison stopped No-tail from being able to get out with Relocate. So rough times for Fnatic, and Seedoy is taking that advantage to be able to push in this top tower, but he still is a long, long way away from one of the really, like, if you want to get a Weaver into the game really, really fast, you either try and, like, pick up a Medallion, or you go and you pick up a lot of towers with a push shred. That way you kind of jumpstart that farm in order to get that first defensive item really early, allowing Weaver to farm really, really aggressively and pick up a Desolator shortly after that. However, they just don't have the pushing power. So even if they do win some of these smaller engagements, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to turn this into map control.
Yeah. And the Weaver can't go anything like Medallion or anything like that anyway. Yeah, because with Doom on the field, he has to go Lincoln. So there is no choice here. Harney's about to run him through behind the tower. So if they can, he doesn't have Amplify yet.
Oh, Relocate bottom.
But if Trixie can get the Doom off, they're going to go on solo. Avalanche will connect. They're going to toss him back now, just up in the air, and then Fly can follow up with. Actually, he throws the ulti out, which coats over on top of Yol as well. Now solo can be denied. I think they were very much considering it for one point. Nero wants to keep going in deeper. Like, he's right on top of Goldblack. No-tail comes in. Now the Avalanche toss up, and they pick up the Tree Protector as well. Venomancer is not looking too healthy. He's running away from Yol. Fly very, very low on life. He's got 6 wand charges. Going to deny himself off to Centaurs for now. Actually triggering up the wand charges. And Viper just comes in and snipes him off. Probably shouldn't have used those wand charges. Well, Yol gets a ethereal beam tossed on his head, which appears to result in death. Making it now 9-5 for Fnatic. This Wiz-Tiny combination, just between the two of them, they've got 7 kills between the two of them, but I'm looking at 10 assists, 5 assists apiece, so yeah.
And they keep on going for more. Solos might be in a little bit of trouble.
Toss. Up.
Living armor, he's going to be fine. But while that was happening, that whole entire team fight, they actually had 2 heroes top committed to try and kill the Weaver. He actually took Doom, but survived through it, thanks to a good Shukuchi and juking into the jungle. So that was 3v4 going in at bottom. Fnatic still handedly won it.
Solo is not liking this. They've managed to drag both Goldblack as well as Danzel here into the middle lane, just to try and stop this kind of farming. But with Ira walking around with drums, wand charges, and full treads up and running, I don't think there is a way that even with the 3 of them they can kill him off. Not with Wisp in the neighborhood, with Relocate up as well. Ira can just walk over and pick up the point boost, but Viper, okay, this is the way they're going to do it. They're going to 5-man mid, drag the Viper up from the lane.
Actually, they have to soon. I mean, how are you going to push into Venomancer wards and you know, all these things? Like, how are you actually going to start taking objectives against that? Well, you just got to 5-man into it.
But by 5-manning, you're going to run the risk of just getting everyone caught off. But if they can get initiation, Era comes in. It's on Notel. Is he going to relocate Era out of this one? He's already starting it off. Yep, they're taking Era out of this fight. And now the question is, do they bring in support? Because Fly's taking this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane in the meantime. Trixie's house moved into the middle lane, but there's fortification going out from the Dire side. Radiant still have theirs, but Fly will take this tier 1 tower on bottom. Era's going to come in. He's going to force him back out again. Avalanche is a little bit too short. Trixie is on the front lines. The wards are going to finish at the bottom tower, and now a little bit too close for the Viper. Doom will be cast out in him, and Era's running in. Toss the bubble, throws Soul up into the air. Gale hits on top of Yol. Not really the best connection on that one, but either way, they keep on pushing in. Another Avalanche over on 2. God Black, there needs to be a toss, and they may as well do it right now on BZZ. Someone coming close. Yol's going to be the one in there. So Era, there's your toss. Night Stalker up. Yol able to shallow grave himself up for now, and they managed to pick up the Wisp at least, but Era's another Avalanche of cooldown. Venomancer picks up the Dazzle in the middle lane, and then they move over towards the Viper. Sidoi might be in the middle of this fight with Solo, but Trixie still standing his ground. They finally did bring down the Tiny, but the Gale's over on Solo. It's still in level 1 though, so there's no tick-through damage coming through, and then Living Armor helps Solo to survive just long enough that they can get the 1 and 2 kill return on both Trixie and Fly in the mid, and Solo, he's earning save. He's earn up and running, so he'll be okay. But 12-10, Fnatic really committing into that fight.
Yeah, Fnatic just diving past tier 1 tower against a lineup like that. And top of that, they didn't even focus their damage, right? If they just focus their damage, take down the Viper while he's still doomed, or focus on killing the tree really quickly. Instead, they just spread their damage so much. The fight stretched out for so long that Weaver just destroyed all of them.
That was, you were asking, how do you get the injection of gold into Weaver?
Yeah,
3 kills in the middle lane, and he's sitting there almost about to buy up his ultimate orb after having Perseverance. He's back on track, and whoops, there goes Wisp on the bottom lane. Era's going to TP himself out to safety before Solo can reach him. But this really is a chance for Fnatic.
That was them relocating downwards.
They're coming top. Doom. This time they'll kill off Viper. Fly. May as well Gale him up to slow him, and commits the Veno ulti. It's the only way they feel they're going to get through him. And in comes Honey. Amplify, Crush. Commitment before any kind of support can TP him. But that support's over in middle lane, taking the tier 1 tower with the DD over on Night Stalker.
Well, things are looking a lot better for RoXKIS. Fnatic are still taking a slight gold lead, but RoXKIS have the momentum. They're taking map control. They still only took 1 tower off of that, though, and that's concerning.
They still have the other major problem. That Aghanim Scepter is arriving for Era shortly. I know what happens when that Aghanim Scepter comes in. Those fights that lasted for a very long time with the Weaver, it won't happen again. And with a creep camp to farm up, may as well avalanche the thing as well. Yep, there she goes. Because Notel's giving him the mana as well as the light points back again. So that just gave him an injection of money that brings him 1,200 gold away from the Aghanims.
What is Notel? What does Fly go?
What does Fly go? Is his Veno?
Yeah, remember he was farming down there bottom for a very, very long time.
In this game, I would have even thought about a Vladimir's, but you may as well just put that over on the Wisp. In this game, I'd almost want to see him go into an Orchid. They can't do that. No, it's gonna be 4 stuff. It's gotta be 4 stuff. They need ways to get away from the Viper once he throws the ulti.
That would be a strong support item, but oh, we forgot about the mech.
Oh wait, isn't the mech going to be done by Notel?
It's not going to be done by Notel because Notel needs some survivability, and like mech gives you that, but I think you just would rather have flat stats. So it just means that Venomancer has to be with the Tiny Wisp combo at all times in a team fight.
Well, right now he's just trying to hold the top tower, and the TP will come in from Trixie, Mr. Vanguard Doombringer. And Notel as well as Era will be also moving up towards the top. But they see Gold Black rotating in. Avalanche too short. Gold Black turned around with this Observer Ward that they've got up on the high ground too. They saw Notel and Era coming in. And there's just fake Wisp balls all across the map. Dazzle with the weave. Nice little way of bringing Notel's armor down to basically nothing. And they want to finish this top tower out, but there's still too many Plague Wards on this ground.
Yeah,
and they're all level
can't
4.
actually initiate. Like, they can't take down the tower quickly, and they can't. They don't have a good way to initiate. So this whole entire time, Hani's just farming bottom.
Nortel's going to tether flight. They need to give this guy mana. They need an Arcane Boost or something. There's just not enough mana to keep these Plague Wards wall up, and the tower's going to go down. The Plague Wards focus on the tower trying to get a denial, but unable to complete it, and Blink Dagger has now arrived on Hani. So this is their trade-off. Hani had time to farm up the bottom lane. Still not going to call that much of a trade until the Aghanim Scepter is properly up on Era, which is now 200 gold away, and with that now 130 gold away. It's not too bad for Fnatic's chances to come back in this game, but RoXKIS are definitely, they have control of the map for now.
Yeah, I actually like Fnatic's chances a lot better here. Of course, I said the same thing about RoXKIS last game, but Fnatic, I think they gauged that.
RoXKIS are gonna win now.
Exactly. I think Fnatic gauged that and go, we can give away tier 2 because Blink Dagger is really, really important to us. We need initiation besides relocation. Relocation is not a strong initiating factor by itself. So if you have some sort of blink in stun, and that's exactly what a Blink Dagger on Slardar gives you. It gives you really good initiation for them to be able to follow up with things like the Doom, like relocate with Tiny, those sort of things. So they judge that as being important enough to have Hani continue farming that at bottom rather than be there for the team fight and try and contest. So, for example, bottom, he goes bottom right now. If he hits the stuns, they relocate in.
He's going to find Gold Black. He sees Gold Black, but he wants Viper. He wants Viper, not Gold Black, so he just blinks himself away. Realizing it's not really possible. Yeah. Viper's almost finished his Aghanim too. Now, this I don't really see having that much of an effect. Even though, like, obviously Aghanims is great with this kind of lineup. Jesus. Wisp relocate's coming. They're going to come in and try and go for Yol, but he already shallow graves himself. Trixie comes in as well. He got the Doom on Goblin, so there's no lead seed helping them to fight, but they've got to get this bug off Nortel before he dies from it, but it's already too late. Weave was right on top of him too. So Slardar as well as Wisp go down, and this fight is not what they're searching for. They had Weave and the bugs, and now Trixie TPing out. The stun's already gone, so he'll be able to survive through this at least. While Fly takes a tier 1 tower on top lane.
Hani just like, he already knew the Tree Protector was there, but then all of a sudden he rounds the corner and finds like 3 different heroes there. I think that was
crush.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise. It was just like, oh, I was not expecting that many heroes. Now RoXKIS is going to be able to take Roshan. If Fnatic just, like, the big problem RoXKIS last game, they didn't do enough split pushing. If Fnatic just split push, avoid team fights, farm up, that sort of thing, stop making those big fatal errors, they can draw this whole entire game out pretty far, because if you don't have really strong pushing power, you're really susceptible to split push, because all that time you're committed to sitting 5-man onto 1 tower, you actually just end up trading to a Wisp Tiny or something like that. So as long as Fnatic do that, I think they're fine. I think they're still definitely ahead in this game, actually, despite that small blunder at bottom.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still with you on that way. I know the power of a Wisp Tiny. A jump in, you can take out towers. The only thing I've seen that's done it faster is a Wisp Luna. And that was just ridiculous damage.
We should also mention Hani. Small interesting thing. Didn't actually max out Crush first.
Just went 4-point sprint, the 3 points Crush, and not a single point up in Bash.
Yeah. That like the no points in Bash before level 10 isn't that surprising, but 9 times out of 10 you're maxing out Crush first. But he just really wanted that movement speed.
How much is the increase? Like 36% to 44. Yeah. Hani has always been rather finicky about these kind of things. He has a very set way of doing things. We have a Blink Dagger now being purchased on the Doombringer, so this is now how they want to try and initiate. Trixie jumping in on the front lines. Not 100% sure about that, but at least it means he'll get the Doom off on the hero he wants to get the Doom off on.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting onto the Weaver.
Well, this will do it for him.
Big target.
Jump in, and he goes actually on Goblak. So no ulti. In comes Era, Avalanche, toss, Yol. He just got the Shallow Grave off, but Goblak locked down. They'll pick him out while BZZ not looking healthy on life points either, but NoTel solo focusing him the entire time. He's lost 3 other heroes, and Era takes a triple kill. The tree was just swinging through. He's got a toss, he's got an Avalanche, and he's got a tree. It's an ultra kill for Era.
Oh, the Aghanim's tiny.
It's
how
crazy.
Things change. That was actually mainly just, I think Trixie initiated, like, stopping Goblak from being able to get off anything in those fights. He's actually pretty important with Overgrowth. When you have 3 different melee heroes, Overgrowth is really, really bad to go up against. So that was smart, but also, like, Hani's initiation afterwards. The 2-man stun with Crush. It's at that point that the team fight was just over.
Yeah. Era and NoTel now going to take a little bit of extra farm. They're farming up Ancients while Era directly off that fight. He bought Mana Recipe as well as Yasha. So he just needs the cash for the Ultimate Orb, and he almost got it. If they back up and then just farm up this next Ancient, he actually managed to basically pick up full Manta style within the space of 1 mid-fight and 1 Ancient stack. Not a bad day's work. And RoXKIS are already forcing this again. They want to come up mid. Doom is off cooldown at 18 seconds time.
Ooh, do you think that's a straight Deso coming out from Sidoi?
I
mean, you need push, you need damage.
It should be. It should be.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be. Without it, they're just going to get destroyed during the team fights. And you're seeing Trixie. This is one way to jump on a Weaver. He's coming in through the rear. Is he going to get it off? They need somebody to trigger off this. There's the Avalanche. Solo's coming in as well. Trixie's run around the entire way, and now you'll see Sidoi, and he does it on Goldblack again. They do not want this lead seat, and they can beat through Solo. Era, there's just too much damage on him. Avalanche toss, now BZZ. The Menasar will pop, so he breaks free with the Avalanche going through both Sidoi as well as the Viper. They want this Weaver. NoTel's right on top of him. Shikuchi's out. The dust way too late there. Trixie does that blink. Wisp ulti. Relocates up. They need to slow him down more. Living Armor bought him sometime. Amplifier's there. And Era now gets a double kill. Going completely unstoppable. It is a 10-1 Tiny at the moment.
Yeah, a big factor, I think, of that team fight, Yol actually used Weave on pretty much the dupe. When he like started looping around in the back, right, he threw down Weave. And then all of a sudden, like, where's your big amount of armor that you were supposed to have against that Tiny? I don't think he actually hit many of his allies with it. So that was kind of a small factor, but honestly, Fnatic, they did well enough their laning phase that even with a couple of good pickoffs by RoXKIS, they still maintain far enough ahead that they could afford those sort of mistakes. Now you're beginning to see the late game Tiny coming into play. 25 minutes in, think about what 20 minutes from now, what it'll do when he has the AC, when he has maxed out Amplify damage coming into play to help out assist that damage.
Dude, just his Menasar illusions took so much life off that tower in the middle lane.
Yeah.
You want to put an Assault Cuirass on this guy?
Hani's going full Sand King mode, by the way. He has Uplink Dagger and now going for a Force Staff.
It's the way to jump in, the way to push out.
Yeah, I mean, Slardar has been traditionally been seen as a carry, but he is actually not a very strong carry whatsoever. He's much more of an anti-carry in many regards because of his jump in, his good, strong initiation, but also his amplified damage is huge. I mean, you put that on a support hero, that support hero is OP as hell. Right? So Slardar being more of a utility role here is actually a very smart idea by Fnatic.
Fnatic are about to either trade or fight, or both. Era with a Hyperstone now up on him. He's just trying to take out the tower now. Trixie's going to jump in, and Doom this time is on the Viper. Relocates on the way in. It was a decent weave, but this time Goldblack gets a good ulti off with that lead C, but it's not enough damage. It's a double kill for Era. We'll see BZZ die at the back end too. It's a triple kill, and GG. Ultra kill.
Hani, man. Hani had, I mean, that was a strong initiation, but the follow-up from Hani there with the 3-man stun, really well done by Fnatic. So they take it a quick 2-0. Not bad.
Yeah, and that keeps D2CL, Fnatic inside the D2CL. They'll level the score up with RoXKIS now. They're both tied for 3rd position with 1 game left to be played for each of them. Now, Alliance, no matter what happens, they are through. Positioning-wise, that could change up, but that'll be done in the matchups. So either RoXKIS are able to beat Alliance, and then Fnatic beat Sigma, and we have ourselves with basically a 3-way tie would be what would happen in that scenario. Or RoXKIS lose, Fnatic win, and then Fnatic advances their way through. That's the way it could happen. So that's more action to come up here for the D2CL, but that is at a later date. In fact, that later date being tomorrow, when we have ourselves Alliance's next game coming up. And this could, in fact, put them completely out of contention right now, because Alliance will be playing up against the undefeated team in Group 1. They're sitting right next to him, Team Empire. So that match is scheduled for, I think it is 18 CET tomorrow? Because I know we had some changes in the schedule.
No games tomorrow.
No games tomorrow for the D2CL, but we have games coming up on Tuesday.
The next game is going to be Alliance versus Empire on Tuesday.
All right, so I was right about the game, just wrong about the date. So, yeah, that game's coming. That's right, because I'm looking at my damn clock down here. Like, it's facing the wrong way.
I know.
Yeah. Thanks, Gab. I'm glad you can be understanding.
That's not me. Oh, I thought you were blaming me.
No, I'm not blaming you, Cap. I'm not blaming you. I blame the Germans. Who set up the computer in the first place. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Remember, my Twitter, TobiWan Dota, Cap's Facebook, Dota Capitalist, and we'll be both giving out rare codes. Rare codes, courtesy of Dota 2 Lounge. We will link them over on our Twitters or Facebook to let you know where you got to claim them up. So head yourself over there. All VODs will be uploaded directly to this Dailymotion channel, and then 48 hours later, we will upload them to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/join Dota. And for now, though, we're actually going to head over to a different game.
Yeah.
Yes, we're stream hopping. Join Dota style. We're over on Twitch this morning. We're over on Dailymotion this afternoon. And for your evening dose, it's like having, like, what is it? It's like your entree.
Oh, okay.
Your
so
main?
Like 3-course meal sort of deal.
Yeah.
Work your way through streaming platforms.
It's your JD nom nom on the weekend. That's what it is right now. So we'll look forward to your company as we jump to our next live stream. Jump to the Joiner MLG live stream. It's currently in a rebroadcast, but that'll be dropped down in 1 hour's time. Cloud9 will battle up against EG in the MLG TKO Stage 2 of the tournament, and then Liquid versus Revenge will follow through. I'll be with you for the Cloud9 versus EG match, while Clairvoyance will, I believe it's Clairvoyance?
Clairvoyance will be joining me, yes, for the last game of the night.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thanks for watching, peoples. We'll see you again in like 50 minutes. Laters!